It is time to expand minds through movies, TV, sports, and flicks. It is time to boldly go where no podcast has gone before. It is time for the Captain Talks Flicks.
The Captain Talk Flicks.
Welcome to the Captain Talks Flicks podcast. I'm your host, the Captain Cortez, aka Mr. Love, and this is where we talk flicks. I welcome the podcast where me, the Captain, talks about movies, TV, sports, flicks, anything you could see on a two-board screen. I like to get out here, give my unique perspective, because after 47 years of being on planet Earth, I've developed a new perspective about these movies, TV, sports, and flicks, and I like to get into about it. Because just maybe you care. And according to the stats, it looks like you do care. I want to give a big shout out to Brazil. Got some plays over in Brazil this past week. Gracias, gratitude, Dorobá, and Brazil. This past weekend, I got to see the UFC show straight from Brazil. A lot of great fighters from there. A lot of great action. It was awesome. You guys have a lot of really badass fighters over there. So very cool. Got to see the fights from Brazil. So thanks for listening. Appreciate it. Got to see his gratitude. And just FYI, back in the day, I went to school to be a radio DJ, but never got a job. I think I never got a job because I just didn't have the determination. If I would have had just a bit more determination, then maybe I would have became a radio DJ. But it didn't. And it allowed me to become the greatest podcast in the Matrix. Something to debate, might be true, might not be true, but I said it on the internet, so it's gotta be true, right? Because everything on the internet is facts, not facts, true, false, propaganda, fake news, the Matrix, wrestling, karate, MMA, taekwondo, bushido. I don't know. I didn't make the internet. Ask the people that made the internet. So when you're online, just beware, just watch out. Anybody's gonna ramble here all day, but it won't. Let's get right into the podcast. But first, a word from our sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, do you like electronic ambient music? Well, if you do, Picard Tiberius just dropped on all digital platforms the song called The Savage Curtain. If you want to hear some electronic, relaxing, ambient sounds where you can study to, meditate to, drink some tea, just chill, vibe out, be laid down, sit in a chair, burn some incense, just get into this trancy, relaxing vibe and let your mind flow where it flows. And check this song, it's very relaxing. I listen to Picard Tiberius just to kind of relax. Sometimes I'll even freestyle over his tracks because the beats are just phenomenally dope. So check out the track, Savage Curtain by Picard Tiberius. I'll put the link below. Now, let's get on with the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back again. And I survived the monkey mind I talked about last episode. Remember I had the monkey mind? Well, it never came back because it's weak. It's not really weak, but it just did what it did. And now it is past. And now it is time to do what I do. But before I get into that, I just want to say one thing. I just learned recently, a couple days ago, that I lost somebody that I spent a lot of time with back in the day. A lot of time, I ate dinner, breakfast with this person, and a lot of conversations over many years. And I just found out he passed away like 6 months ago. And this person had a profound effect on me becoming the captain I am today. Now, as I navigated the timeline, and as I came up from a young man to an older man, I've encountered a lot of human beings. I spent time with a lot of human beings. I've had a lot of conversations. I've broke bread with a lot of people. I've encountered so many people, friends, family, co-workers, random people on the streets, and they've all shaped me in some form or fashion. And this particular person I spent a lot of time with over the years, and he did have effect on me, no question about it, in a positive way. So I just want to say a rest in peace to this individual. I'm thinking about you. I appreciate all the time that we had together on this earth, and I will see you soon at some point in time when I move on. And I appreciate all the conversations we had, and I appreciate all the connection we've had, and I appreciate all the time we shared while you're on planet Earth. And let's have a moment of peace for this gentleman real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, this past weekend, I went to the old Wild West. Like, bro, you go to the Wild West? Yes, I did. There's a new show that just came out. It took me on a trip to the old Wild West. I'm like, Captain, what show are you talking about? I am talking about the show Lawmen, Bass, Reeves. Yeah, took me back to the old Wild West. And ladies and gentlemen, it was absolutely phenomenal. Because usually I don't take trips to the Wild West. Usually I'm out in space. Usually I'm with science fiction. Or usually I'm going through espionage worlds, bro. Espionage, sci-fi, space. I rarely take trips to the old West. It's pretty rare. This is a rare thing for me. But I was glad I did. Now, before I get into this any further, a couple things. First of all, there will be spoilers. And second of all, I do own some shares in the parent company of Paramount Plus, because that's where I saw the show at. I just want to be clear and transparent to let you know. Now that I told you that, let's get into Lawmen, Bass, Reeves. So ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let me just say this before I go any further. I have so much gratitude that I live in 2023 with all the comforts that the year 2023 brings, right? Because seeing Lawmen, Bass, Reeves made me appreciate, like, bro, we have a lot. There's a lot of things they did back in those days that were very difficult, very complicated compared to what we do today. There's so many luxuries we have living in 23. And that's like the first thing I thought when I was watching the show. I'm watching the show, seeing all things to do. I'm like, bro, we got it so good. So let me just put that out there right now. Right there, like, I am blessed and gratitude to live in the era that I live in. So many comforts compared to back in the day. It must have been so hard to exist and live in that space place. But they probably didn't know any better because they didn't know anything else. But if I had to go back there and live there compared to what I'm doing now, very difficult. But anyways, besides that, the show was absolutely fantastic. It is about this guy named Bass Reeves, who was a slave, but he freed himself, got free, and became a lawman, bro. So he went from slave to the law, bro. He made progress. He grew. He expanded himself. He expanded his mind. He grew. He got better, bro. It's awesome. I love the tale already. I love growth. I love improvements. I love overcoming obstacles in real life. It's a good thing to do. I'm glad we're going to get to see this on the screen and see this man overcome where he came from. Beautiful thing. Now, there was so much happening, so much on the show to unpack. But what I want to do is get into a couple things about the episode, just key on that and kind of see what lessons we can get here. So in the show, when he was a slave, he had this lady that he was with, I think his wife or his girlfriend, they were together. And he had to leave and escape because this dude beat up his master, bro. His master ticked him off there playing cards. He was frustrated. He's like, you cheated, bro. And he beat him up. And once he beat his master up, he went to talk to his wife. And his wife's like, you got to get out of here. You got to leave. So he left. He escaped. He took off. He went to a native reservation. Hung out there for a while, learned the languages. And after that, went back and got his lady. And that's what I want to kind of dive into, to see the relationship between Bass Reeves and his lady, and just how much his lady had his back. His lady had his back to the fullest, right? This relationship between Bass Reeves and his lady, I think it's his wife, they may be married, I'm not really sure. But it's just a very great relationship to see. Because she's the one that told him, you got to get out of here, bro. Just go. Get out of here, right? And he went. And it was the right move to make. And then later on, after he goes back and gets her, picks her up, and they resettle in some other land. He's farming. He's having trouble farming. And he has this opportunity to go join the marshal and do marshaling, right? And he was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm a farmer, bro. I ain't doing all that. I'm good. I ain't working for the man, bro. But his lady recognized his skills and talents, like, hey, Bass, you got the skills for this. You need to go do this. You should do this. I believe in you. You don't believe in yourself. I believe in you. She didn't say this, but that's what she said. Go do this, right? She's like, I recognize you have the ability and the opportunity. You should go take advantage of this and handle this business. Go do this. And so he goes and do it. And this lady just has his back, right? They got a family. They got like 5 kids. And she's very supportive emotionally, physically. She just work around the house. They're almost like, they're like equals basically. And she really got his back. She's really a ride or die. And I love to see that on the screen. Because to be honest, in today's landscape of television, a lot of ladies we do see, no disrespect to women out there at all, none, it's not disrespect, this is just stuff we've seen it too, is not showing that a lot of times. It's not showing that kind of a relationship with a man and a woman. I can think of a lot of shows, a lot of reality shows as well, where we just do not see that. And it's good to see a stable relationship with a man and a wife, I think they're married, or a lady and a man, or whatever the relationship is, with kids, and just having a just stable household and trying to get by the best they can and supporting each other. I love seeing that. That's one of the first things I thought about when I saw this. Absolutely magnificent. So real quick, I believe, or I think, what we input into our eyes, what we input into our ears, shapes our thoughts and our beliefs and reality, right? And if you see a lot of dysfunctional relationships with human beings, wife, man, wife, man, woman, whatever it is, and they're dysfunctional, that is going to lay in your psyche, bro, right? So if you consume lots of media depicting that, that may bend your mind slightly in that direction, right? We need more examples of a good family doing good things, right? It's just beautiful to see. So yeah, I love seeing that. It's just good positive role model modeling on the tube. And speaking on this kind of the same topic, what I also like about the show is that Bass Reeves, despite all the negativity and drama he had to walk through, because I mean, dude was a slave, bro, which is absolutely horrible. But despite all that, he has a strong spiritual connection with God, the Lord, which guides his life and his choices. He has a great moral compass, and he tries to stick to that, and he sticks with it in a world that is very dark, very negative, what it seems to be. I don't know if this is true in real life, but at least in this world, it seems to be that way, where men are just not as good as they could be. He sticks to this moral compass, at least so far. And that's very noble to see, because even now in 2023, if you go on social media and you look and you read and you watch these videos and you read how other human beings are acting, how they're talking, how they're moving, how they're operating, and you see it's a lot of negativity, and to keep your moral compass in a positive mode can be difficult when you're swimming in a sea of snakes, right? Bro, and in this show, we get to see Bass Reeves do this. Like, he's just saying it. He lives by it, bro. He's quoting the Bible. It's absolutely wonderful. I love seeing that. That's the kind of mindset I'm trying to keep in my world in this life, right? Because there's a lot of stuff that are just not empowering. And try to stay empowered in a world of disempowering ideas, where it seemed to be disempowering, can be difficult. And we can see Bass Reeves attempt to do that. And then one other thing I want to talk about as well. In the show, that awesome lady, that awesome wife, Bass Reeves' lady, the one I talked about, she says this awesome quote in the show, right? And I just loved it. When I heard it, I just love it. I wrote it down because I just love the quote. I believe she said, always have something that's yours and yours alone. When I heard that, that was absolutely magnificent. Because, you know, we do a lot of sharing on the internet, right? We share a lot. In this day and age, we share so much. We're sharing all day, sharing all types of stuff. We share it all over the place, right? Does anyone even keep anything private anymore? I don't know, they might. But she says, always have something that's yours and yours alone. And I do live by that. There are certain things that are in my mind that only I am aware of and only I know, and I will not share them because those are mine and mine alone. And when I heard that quote, I totally understood that, because that's my own private thing there. And it's one thing I can go to when everything else is falling apart. I can go to that. And I feel we all should do that. I'm not saying don't share. Of course, share. Be open. Communicate with people. But you kind of got to hold something that's yours. Because a lot of people will try to appropriate you, appropriate your ideas, appropriate your space, your time, you as a person. You try to take everything you got. Take all that. But there's some things, if you just keep to yourself and it's yours alone, people cannot take, right? And it's nice to have and hold on to that. And I feel in the world we currently live in, people just love to give, share. And don't keep anything for themselves. And this isn't like the 1800s he's saying this, right? It applies to today. Now, I could go on and on about this show. There were so many interesting things going on in the show. The writing is phenomenal. I could just talk and just keep pulling from the show because there's so many interesting things happening. But it is a fantastic show. I love it already. 2 episodes in. It is nice to take a trip to the Wild West because I never go there. Something new, unique. I'm usually not a fan of those shows, but I said, you know what? Let's do something new. Let's try something else new. Let's look at something new, bro. And I was pleasantly surprised that this is great. Going to the Wild Wild West. Wild Wild West. So yeah, Lawmen, Bass Reeves. Phenomenal. I highly recommend you check it out over at Paramount Plus. And so yeah, good show. And that's all we're going to talk about this week. So until next time, we'll see. Goals determine what you're going to be. Julius Irving. Until next time, it's Captain Peace.
The Captain Talks Flicks.